When the War of Independence began on the 21st of January 1919, the IRA in Kildare faced a unique situation. One-third of Britain's overall military strength was based in the Curragh alone, and the county had a huge population of ex-servicemen and their families with strong ties to the British Crown. Fear of reprisals, as well as Kildare's open plains, which militated against the IRA's favourite tactic of ambush, were strong deterrents to military engagements. Indeed, the county has often been criticised for a perceived lack of action. So the first fatal ambush in County Kildare happened in August 1920, when the Kill IRA, augmented by some other volunteers from around the county who were a bit more experienced, ambushed a four-man RIC patrol at Green Hills Kill on the 21st of August 1920. We are standing here at the John Devine Monument at Green Hills Kill, which is near the site of the ambush, the fatal ambush in August 1920. John Devine would have lived in this vicinity at Green Hills, and ironically, his grand-nephew Jim Dunn was one of the ambush party. The scene of the ambush was at a turn in the road which sloped downwards from Kill village. On the left-hand side was a small wood bounded by a ditch. The area is known as Green Hills. Following an attack on RIC County Inspector Kerry Supple's house on the Sallins Road, Naas, in January 1919, a patrol of 4 armed policemen would leave Kill Barracks every second night to stand guard. In August 1920, it was decided to ambush this party and take their weapons, although it was never confirmed whether the objective was to kill or injure the policemen. Tom Harris oversaw the ambush party with 33 men from Kill Company under the command of Lieutenant Tom Donegan. The main body of men was armed with 10 shotguns and some revolvers. They were placed behind a bank beside the main road with a small screen of trees at their back. About 11:30 p.m. on the 21st of August 1920, the four-man RIC party on bicycles appeared at the chosen point. A cry of "hands up" to the police patrol was quickly followed by a fusillade of gunfire. Surviving policemen said the call was accompanied by a volley of shots and they were given no chance to surrender. 2 of the RIC men, Sergeant Riley and Constable Patrick Haverty, were fatally wounded by shotgun blasts. When a relief party of police arrived, they found Constable Haverty lying dead in a pool of blood and Sergeant Riley gravely wounded. Haverty's body was taken to Kill Barracks, while Riley was rushed to Dr. Stevens Hospital in Dublin, where he later succumbed to his wounds. 5 days after the Kill ambush, at 7 p.m. on the 26th of August, 20 Blackened Hands armed with rifles and revolvers arrived in Kill village by motor lorry. They stopped outside a Dewdrop Inn, which was directly across from Kill RIC barracks. The inquest into the death of Constable Haverty had been held in the Dewdrop. The Blackened Hands entered the inn and remained there for some time. After a while, 2 of the party, one in uniform and the other in civilian attire, proceeded from the Dewdrop Inn to Thomas Brockle's nearby premises. The man in uniform was trailing a rifle after him, while the other held a revolver in his hand. Ellen Brockle, the wife of the owner, was behind the counter as the 2 Blackened Hands entered the premises using foul language, one of them shouting, "What bastard killed a policeman? Will anyone kill one tonight?" Approaching the counter, one of the Tans shouted, "Get us 2 bloody pints of ale." Mrs. Brockle provided the drinks, and as she was leaving them on the counter, the policeman with the revolver fired 2 shots into the ceiling. The Tan who fired the shot shouted, "We'll blow up this bloody place tonight." That same night, 26th of August, 2 lorries with 10 Blackened Hands in each arrived in Naas around 1 a.m. They drove into the town from the Newbridge Road, turned into Basin Street and then drove onto Main Street. And for about 10 minutes, the Blackened Hands fired shots into the air. People reported that it was sustained firing in the air for about 10 minutes. And then they could hear the sound of breaking glass, and then flames erupted from Bushel's boot maker's shop on the main street. Now, the reason the Blackened Hands supposedly arrived in Naas was that one of those they were looking for was Jimmy White, whose family owned a boot shop in Main Street, which later became well known as Hades in the town. And they were looking for Jimmy White, so they tried to break down the door and see was he in there, but of course he wasn't. And then they turned their attention to Bushell's, which was across the road, which was also a boot shop, and they burnt that to the ground, the family just barely making it out the back door. They start firing shots again into the air, and as they mounted their Crossley tenders and drove out the town down past New Row, and they were firing shots then as well, but nobody was injured. People came out then afterwards, even RAC men from the local barracks actually came out to try and put out the flames in Bushell's boot shop, and were helped by some ex-British Army soldiers who had fought in the First World War as well, and some townspeople, including Republicans and that, to try and put out the flames. But the shop was burnt to the ground. During the War of Independence, it was quickly forgotten that many of the RIC casualties were fellow Irishmen, neighbours and co-religionists. The Leinster leader duly reported on the follow-up raids by police and the military in the Kill and Naas areas for wanted men in connection with the ambush.